Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nick Montez. Now today, okay, why am I doing this? Okay, so, today, I'm actually doing a late ranking that was supposed to be actually on November 30th, but I did not think of the idea until Monday. I posted a video on Instagram, but then I deleted it because I don't post videos on YouTube on the week. So, basically what my plan was to, today I thought to celebrate the actual month of November of 2020. I thought I'd rank all 12 movies that I actually saw in the month of November. Yeah, there was 30 days of November and I saw 12 films. So, yeah, there's 12 movies we're going to rank today, and I'll have a list down below in the description so you guys can know what films I saw this month, but you'll hear about the films I saw in the video. So with that said, let's get started. So coming in last place at number 12 is Alice Through the Looking Glass. So you already know my thoughts on Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass when I reviewed it for the Disney Remake series. I would say out of all the Disney remakes that I saw in the series, it's the worst one. And the reason for that is just because I don't like it. It's not my favorite. There's just a lot of plot holes that just don't work. And the story is, the tone is just all over the place. The tone doesn't know what it's trying to be. So this is just a mess of a movie. So if you want to hear my thoughts on the movie, just go check out my review for it. But overall, Alice Through the Looking Glass is in last place. Number 11 is Pete's Dragon from 1977. So this was actually a film I had to go see to watch the new Pete's Dragon to review a Friday ago, last Friday, November 27th. And this was not my favorite Disney film. I honestly think this is one of the worst Disney films ever. Like, there was a lot of musical numbers that just did not work, and the story was not great. But I will say this, the characters were good. I will say that. The characters were good. So, since I have not reviewed this movie on my channel yet, I'm going to give this a D-. Granted, the characters are enjoyable to watch, just the whole entire movie is not. Now we're into the top 10, and number 10 is Alice in Wonderland 1951. So, like Pete's Dragon 1977, I had to go to watch the original Alice in Wonderland from 1951, and I do not really have much positive things to say about it. I'll start off with the first thing, and that the way the idea was crafted about, like, the way Alice was, like, bringing stuff up about the world, it was really creative. But she, like, when she falls into the rabbit hole way too quick, and just the story about it just doesn't really work. There's not much I really liked about this movie. I enjoyed it. The Queen of Hearts is really enjoyable, but this is not my favorite film of this thing. Number 9 is Alice in Wonderland 2010. So this is actually my favorite of all the Alice in Wonderland films, but it's still not great. I know it has a lot of story stuff about dragons and, wars and stuff, which technically is similar to Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, but to be honest, I think in this film it actually works, and it kind of gets me excited. I was on the edge of my seat when I was watching it. So, not the best film. If you want to see my full review, you can check it out on my channel. I have it on my channel right now, or just check out the Journey to Mulan series, but you already know my thoughts for it. Number 8 is X-Men Dark Phoenix. So, X-Men Dark Phoenix was one of those X-Men films. Or actually, before I get to my review for it, let me just tell you a little story. So, back in early October, my sister's friend had HBO Max, so she decided to offer HBO Max to her, and one of the first things I really wanted to watch on there was the two X-Men films on there, X-Men First Class and X-Men Dark Phoenix, but you'll see where X-Men First Class comes on, but we're talking about we're talking about X-Men Dark Phoenix right now. But X-Men Dark Phoenix, I thought it was good. It's definitely not the best of the franchise. I've seen most of the X-Men films. I loved it ever since I watched X-Men Days of Future Past when they put that on Disney Plus, and then X-Men Apocalypse, pretty good. I did see the first X-Men, pretty good too. Have not seen the Wolverine yet. Sorry, we're getting off topic here, but X-Men Dark Phoenix, I think is a good movie. Granted, the story does have some issues, and especially how I keep hearing about like the background of the movie, and that just makes me more like disappointed about the movie, and I do not like that. So, one more thing I want to talk about before we get into number 7 is that this movie probably has some of the best action in the X-Men franchise ever. Like, the action is just so creative, and I was like, I'm not sure the action was going to be great in this, but then I saw it, and it was just amazing. Especially in that third act. The action was amazing, so I absolutely love the action in this movie. So, it's at number 8. It's good, but it's not great. Number 7 is, it's kind of a funny story. So, this was actually a film that I included in the Anna Boden ranking, which I actually deleted, but, it's a good movie. It's the same score as X-Men Dark Phoenix, Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. No, wait, not Alice Through the Looking Glass. That's horrible. It's the same letter grade as Dark Phoenix, Alice in Wonderland, and the 2 Alice in Wonderland movies. But it's still, I would say it's the best of those movies. It has characters that are interesting, especially the guy that played Alan in The Hangover. It has Emma Roberts in it, and the storyline about this kid that wants to murder himself because he is depressed and stressed out. Not really an interesting take. You think it would be like it would be some sort of like dark movie, but it's not. It's all fun and comedic, and I don't think it works that way. So it was enjoyable, and it was heartfelt, but not my favorite movie of Anna Boden's filmography. I will rank it in the future, though. Number 6 is The Christmas Chronicles 2. Now, this is where I actually start to get more positive letter scores on these films. So, The Christmas Chronicles 2 is actually the first of that kind, and I actually think it's pretty good. It's not better than the original, because you'll see where the original goes in my list here. But, The Christmas Chronicles 2, I thought it was good. Kurt Russell as Santa Claus does a great job of it. Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Claus is really heartwarming, especially with the new kid coming in. Their relationship together was really good. The kid that they took from Deadpool 2, I don't really think they did him well, because it was a story we've seen many before times. Well, for me, it's a story I've heard about many times, because there's a lot of Christmas movies. Well, not just Christmas movies. There's a lot of movies out there that I have not seen. So, and plus the way they brought in the time travel stuff, it was cool, but it wasn't really something I was expecting, you know? And of course, the real Santa Village in this film, it was fine. I mean, it didn't really do anything that sparked my stuff, that sparked anything. And like, I kind of, when I think about it, it's like a twist, because like, the first one was like, what would happen if you could save Christmas on Earth, like in the cities? But what if you could save Christmas? And this movie like takes a twist on it, and it takes, what if you could save Christmas in the North Pole? That actually is a good twist. But overall, it's a B-. If you want to hear my other thoughts on the film, you can check out my review for it on my channel. It's not too long ago, but The Christmas Chronicles 2 I think is good, just not great. And now we're entering the top 5, and number 5 is Pete's Dragon from 2016. So, as much as I did not like the original Pete's Dragon, this one is just much better, but it's not great. First off, the cast. We have to talk about the cast. They brought in the girl from Jurassic World to play Grace, which I think was the girl that, from the original film, who was, like, in charge of the lighthouse, and, you know, who lost her husband. Well, I mean, who lost her almost husband. And they even brought Robert Redford, who played Alexander Pierce in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'm trying to think of other people that they brought in. They also brought in Carl Urban, who played Scourge in Thor Ragnarok. So the cast is just really likable. The story in it is much better than the first one. The characters are more likable, and there's more. I feel like the arcs are stronger in this one. Um, so overall, it's a better film. Now, it has some of the same problems as the original film, but it's still good and it's still enjoyable. It's just not great. Number 4 is Avatar. Just to let you know, this list is filled with films that are my first time watching. And back in November, Avatar was the first time I actually ever saw Avatar, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, the story, however, is a little bit weak. The way the story was crafted, it didn't really seem that great. But for me, the story didn't really bother me as much because what I loved about it, because it's a James Cameron movie, and it's not really, you're not really supposed to love the story. If you love, because one of James Cameron's like visual styles is that he does amazing CGI. And that's what this film did. It was beautiful. Sometimes I would think it was a live-action Jungle Book, or the live-action Lion King, or even sometimes its own movie. So, like, this movie, and then sometimes I even think it was Black Panther. So, this movie just takes all those, like, jungle movie parts, mash it all together, and it just puts this into it. Except it takes a whole new take. But one of the things I liked about it was the characters. Like they casted Zoe Saldana as one of the avatars as Natiri. You have a pilot who played Letty in the Fast and Furious franchise. You have Jake Sully as that character who he's sitting in a wheelchair, and with this avatar body, he could finally run and walk and do all types of things with these legs. And it's really cool. Plus, the action is really cool. It was really action-packed. There was just a lot of action I loved that I had on. It was action-packed. I was on the edge of my seat. It was really cool. Stephen Lang, his character as Quaritch is pretty enjoyable. So overall, this film is enjoyable. It's just the story. The story was the big problem, but overall, this was a good movie with amazing visuals. Number 3 is Maleficent. So, if you saw my review for Maleficent, you know that I was actually a much bigger fan of Maleficent more than most people. And the reason for that is because I don't know. I loved it. I love the story. I loved how they changed the story a little bit, and I loved learning about Maleficent. And I loved how. Now, it may not have been questions we wanted answered, and that sort of ties back into Alice Through the Looking Glass, where they had questions we didn't really need answered, but it still had arcs that I cared about and I liked. This film, it does the same thing, except I care about these sort of things more. Well, I care for these sort of twists equally. However, for a couple of things, I don't like the Moors plotline. It just doesn't really feel like something. The Moors plotline doesn't work for me, but the rest of the film is good. So, it's still an A-, but it's still good, and it's still great, and I definitely recommend it if you are a fan of Sleeping Beauty stories, or Disney, for that matter, or Disney remakes, for that matter. Number 2 is the Christmas Chronicles. Just one of, if not one of the best Christmas movies of all time. When I watched it for the first time, I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was just fantastic. I loved the Christmas Chronicles. Kurt Russell as Santa Claus was just so good. Now the story about these kids trying to find Santa, like trying to like catch him in the act, like catch him live and in person. It's been stories that I've heard about many times before, but I feel like this sort of story works because as they were trying to find the presents Santa's had, the sleigh, and trying to fix the sleigh, it doesn't. It may be a lot. It may be a lot of plot lines, but it works, and I truly believe it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. So for that reason, it's a number 2. A, just a normal A. But my favorite film of November that I saw in November of 2020 is X-Men First Class. So you already know my thoughts about X-Men Dark Phoenix, and as this was the first X-Men movie that I actually saw on Disney, not Disney Plus. I don't know if they'll add on Disney Plus any actually, but this was actually the first. This was actually the first ever movie I watched like by myself on HBO Max because this was the most anticipated film I wanted to see. It was one of the first movies I wanted to see on HBO Max because I was tired of not having HBO Max and I really wanted to see X-Men First Class because I kept seeing a lot of good scenes on YouTube and I kept hearing a lot of great things about it, and I was blown away by this movie. I was totally everybody was totally right about this film, of how they take the characters that we saw in the original trilogy, where they take Charles Xavier, Eric Lenscher, Raven Darkholmer, just other characters, like the characters from the original trilogy, and they just make it better. Like, they add, what's his name? James McAvoy as young Charles Xavier, Jennifer Lawrence as Raven, also known as Mystique, Nicholas Hoult as Hank McCoy as Beast. That was really cool. And one of the things I actually loved about this movie was it was so weird, and the weirdness worked. Like the scene where all the mutants are testing, are showing their powers, it was really cool. Where they're talking about this scene where Banshee is testing out his sound thing, and it's really cool. And then you have the kid that has those amazing abilities where he has energy, and then he destroys a statue, and it's really cool. And then one of the things that really puts this film on top for me is the third act. The third act really surprised me because, as you see, it's not sure, it has cool action when Beast and Havoc are fighting the red version, the one they're fighting Azazel. That scene is cool, and some other scenes as well. But what really put the final battle on top for me was that when Eric was trying to kill the humans coming aboard those ships, and Charles is trying to stop him, and it's and then all the X-Men try to stop him, and then the pilot tries to shoot Eric Lenscher, and then Charles gets paralyzed and he can't feel his legs, and it was a really shocking moment. And then all the mutants join in, and then once Eric teams up with the Frost Girl, it was one of the best moments. And then he has the comic book suit. It was really cool. So X-Men First Class is my favorite movie of November of 2020 that I saw. And I'll probably rewatch this because this was, if not, one of my favorite X-Men movies. Probably Logan is still my favorite because it has great themes and it's really cool. It has a good ending to the Wolverine trilogy. Have not seen the Wolverine yet, but yeah, X-Men First Class is a great movie, and I definitely recommend it if you've seen the original X-Men trilogy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6, and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. Later tonight, I'll be posting my Mulan review. Hopefully I can get it out. And this has been a long video talking about these movies with you guys. I really hope you guys like my videos. And I just gotta tell you, we actually hit like a 1,000 videos. Not 1,000 videos. We hit 1,000 views on this channel today. I'm really excited about that. So thank you guys for supporting my channel, and I'll see you for the Mulan review. Bye.